Private Tommy Reynolds had been assigned the worst duty on the Galactic Training Station, maintenance crew for the ancient combat halls. While alien cadets from dozens of species practiced with energy weapons and plasma swords, he mopped floors and cleaned equipment storage rooms that hadn't been properly maintained in decades. The Nexary instructors made no effort to hide their disdain. Humans were the newest species admitted to the Galactic Defense Force, and barely at that. Their primitive kinetic weapons and combustion-based technology were considered laughably obsolete. Most alien species viewed human inclusion as a charitable gesture rather than a strategic decision. Human, Instructor Zekvoth had sneered earlier that day, ensure the auxiliary storage chamber is completely sanitized. Some of our more distinguished cadets will be training there tomorrow. The auxiliary chamber was a forgotten corner of the facility, filled with obsolete training equipment from the station's early years. Tommy had been scrubbing rust off ancient storage containers for hours when he discovered the sealed vault behind a stack of corroded metal crates. The vault's quantum lock was damaged, its exotic matter containment field flickering weakly. Tommy's human curiosity, a trait the aliens found both primitive and irritating, compelled him to investigate. Inside, wrapped in preservation cloth, he found something that made his heart race. A sword. Not the elegant energy blades favored by modern galactic civilizations, but an ancient steel weapon that felt perfectly balanced in his hands. The blade was simple, functional, deadly, and according to the warning plaques surrounding it, absolutely forbidden. Tommy's translation device struggled with the archaic text, but the meaning was clear: kinetic melee weapons banned by Galactic Accord 7742. Use restricted to historical display only. Extreme danger to untrained individuals. What the aliens didn't understand, what they couldn't comprehend, was that every human culture had independently developed similar weapons. While the galaxy had evolved beyond primitive metal blades thousands of years ago, humans had perfected their use through millennia of constant warfare. Swordsmanship wasn't ancient history to humanity, it was still taught in their military academies. Tommy hefted the blade, muscle memory from years of historical European martial arts training flooding back. The weight distribution, the grip angle, the balance point, it felt like coming home. The next day, Instructor Zekvoth arrived at the auxiliary chamber with 3 of his most promising students. A Nexary warrior noble, a cybernetically enhanced Helix combat specialist, and a Drachmary whose species had dominated galactic tournaments for 2 centuries. Today we practice against primitive weapons, Zekvoth announced, his 4 eyes glinting with amusement, to understand how our ancestors might have fought before proper technology. The 3 alien cadets activated their training gear, energy shields, plasma weapons set to stun, and advanced combat suits that enhanced speed and strength. They expected to easily overwhelm whatever crude demonstration the maintenance human might provide. Tommy stepped into the training circle, the forbidden sword held in a classical guard position. "Begin," Zekvoth commanded. What happened next would be discussed in hushed whispers throughout the galactic military for years to come. Tommy moved like liquid lightning. The sword became an extension of his will, cutting, thrusting, parrying with precision that defied the aliens' understanding of primitive combat. His movements were economical, brutal, and devastatingly effective. The Nexary cadet's energy shield sparked and failed as the steel blade, moving faster than the defensive system could compensate, slipped past its barriers. The Helix specialists' enhanced reflexes proved useless against techniques refined through centuries of human conflict. The Drachmary, despite their species' natural combat advantages, found themselves completely outmatched by fighting styles that predated galactic civilization. In less than 2 minutes, all 3 alien cadets lay stunned on the training hall floor. Instructor Zekvoth stared in shock as Tommy casually cleaned the blade and returned it to its vault. "How?" the alien whispered. Tommy shrugged, picking up his mop. "You guys forgot something important when you banned kinetic weapons. Just because technology advances doesn't mean the old ways stop working. Sometimes the simplest solution is still the best one." As word spread through the station, the galactic military began to reconsider their assessment of human capabilities. Perhaps their primitive species possessed knowledge that the rest of the galaxy had foolishly abandoned. Tommy went back to mopping floors, whistling quietly. He never mentioned that the sword he'd found was actually inferior to the blades he'd trained with back on Earth.